And it always helps to actually hit go live. That definitely helps. Right, I'm just waiting for the secret assassins to join me wherever they are. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
Hey, hang on. Oh, fuck well, we've got fucking Max Headroom himself.
Hey, don't! I could get the green T-shirt.
We should. It's small mercies. You could be in your bloody swimming pool, mate. So I suppose you'd be thankful for this, eh?
No, I'm not Amaranth.
Right, we'll just wait on the Panther Meister, wherever he is. Cheers, mate. Oh, there he is. There we are. We've got the fucking gang back together again. Fucking hell, eh?
Hey.
Well, hopefully it works now.
I know, that was a lot of hassle. Anyway, listen, it's good to get Steve in one of these things. How the hell are you, mate? Nice to talk to you in real time.
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad.
Good, aye. Excellent. You've never actually done a live stream before, eh? It's all kind of pre-recorded stuff that you do. Yeah.
I'm shitting myself right now.
Panther's all right. He doesn't bite. He's all right, mate. Honestly. How you enjoying your mister?
Well, I'm still setting it up. I've only had it like 2 days. Yeah, loving it. Of course, loving it.
Yeah, it's a lovely machine. But I'm loving the end goal, mate. Honestly, it's fantastic. So
you know the Sinclair logo on the top.
Yeah.
That didn't actually come with it. That was mine that I stuck on it because I thought a Spectrum's not right without Sinclair on the top, so I stuck that on.
Oh, the big thing that says Singler.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That looks the dog's bollocks as well, mate. I didn't realise that. No, you done a great job of it. You done a great job. So, Panther, how's the family, mate?
It's all gone quiet.
I knew he moved to bloody Cornwall, but fuck me, it's like a 15-second delay. Jesus. Come in, Cornwall. Are you there? I think we've lost him. Fucking hell. Panther.
Hello.
Hey.
I've just discovered that StreamYard does not work in a web browser in the background while I'm trying to answer a message from someone else while talking. Like normally, when you have like WhatsApp or Messenger or whatever, it'll run in the background while you're doing everything else. Not this, apparently.
And how's the dog, mate?
Yeah, he's a bit of an handful. He has a lot of tantrums in his crate and that, but he's as bright as a button.
Good. So how many
These
walks?
are always a handful.
Yeah. How many walks does he have to get per day?
Well, he's only just had his last inoculation on Monday, so he started going out. I actually not long got a message from the other half. Because she's at work tonight. If I'm up early in the morning, let's take all the dogs out first thing. So yeah, it should be a laugh tomorrow morning.
Good. Yeah, that's one thing about dogs. It certainly encourages you to get off your arse and get outside, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, what anything for you want to talk about tonight, folks? Or what do you think? What is that?
I'll tell you one thing, mate. If we get him trained up properly, as we want to get him trained up, he'll be the companion dog that will come to Scotland next time we come up to see you.
He's always welcome, mate. You'll have 2 pals up here.
Cool.
Excellent. Sorry, Colin, what was that you were showing us, mate?
Arrived today.
64 Nightmares.
Kickstarter.
Andrew Fisher. He's done quite a lot. Is it just me, or is anyone else feels that the whole everybody writing retro books is becoming slightly saturated? I am.
You can buy them or you don't. If you want them, you buy them. If you don't, you don't. Simple as that. It's the same with anything else with books. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew Fisher.
I'm actually ordered Kim Justice's book.
Yeah. So what was that, Panther? Sorry.
Andrew knows his stuff. I'm kind of acquainted with him on Facebook. He's a nice bloke. He's also makes music. He's Merman.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't work very well sometimes. They sound a little bit out of tune. I don't know what it is, whether it's the Sid FX or something, but they seem out of tune quite often.
Was it? I recorded. I'm trying to think what game it was. Was it Barnsley Badger? I don't know. I did a soundtrack CD for Jason Kens McKenzie for is it Binary Zone? For one of them, they wanted something recorded in stereo, and I'm sure it was definitely one of Andrew's. Anyway, it was either that or the last Amazon. I've done 2 for him.
I'm keeping the mic muted most of the time because I got the washing machine going on spin cycle now.
Oh, okay. Please, you're professional, mate.
I was in the pub tonight, as I mentioned earlier on, in Edinburgh, and then like one of the guys next to me goes, he got a notification. He went, "I've just got a notification to say that the washing machine has just stopped its fucking cycle." He's getting a fucking update like 40 miles away to say his washing machine's
gone out on the bike. By the sound of it.
Mental, absolutely fucking mental. I mean, even washing machines and I've had my TV crash and I've had to switch
Nothing
it on and
we've
off.
got is connected to the internet. Well, TVs are, but not much else.
Steve, are you a book fan at all? Retro book fan?
Yes and no. It depends on the subject.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think what Chris Wilkins has done for the community is great. He's kind of. I'm not going to say that he's made the community, but he hosts a lot of like events. He had Rob Hubbard and all that kind of stuff. I think it's great. But I find a lot of the books that Retrofusion brought out quite dry. I mean, I've not bought them all. I've got about probably 5 or 6 of them. I just find them quite dry to read. I don't know about you guys.
The Ocean one was pretty good. What I think of it, Andrew Fisher is also one of the writers for the new iteration of Zap 64 as well. So,
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got no doubt. Quite a lot of his music does come through okay, but some of them on here, I don't know what it on my original 64. I don't know what it is. Some of them really sound terrible.
But am I not right in thinking? In front, I've got the guy that can answer that. Am I not right in thinking that depending on like a Sid tune will potentially sound not completely different. It will sound different on every single Commodore 64. Is that?
Well, to a certain degree. I mean, you've got the extremes, but they are much of a muchness. It's normally the analog filters part that messes around. So if you play something like Hubbard's Light Force music, that's got such heavy filter usage that can sound different on every chip. Yeah, but I think with some of the stuff that plays out of tune, it can tend to be like just dodgy rips, really. The way they've pulled the music out of the game or whatever is not quite right as well. I know. So when they bring out a new version of the High Voltage Sid collection, it'll have a list of new songs, a list of stuff that they've sussed out who it was Byway, didn't they, before, and they'll also have fixed tunes as well. So it's constantly being updated. So if his tunes are out of tune and they shouldn't be, he'll get fixed sooner or later.
It might be down to the WIC 64 radio, because that's the ones I hear it from. They pop up on there, and it's. But when I play, when we played when I suggested, what was it, the last live stream for Terrible Sids? When I played that one on Deep Sid, it didn't sound as bad. So it might be down to WIC 64 radio.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah,
I've never used it, so.
Yeah, how faithful is Deep Sid? Do you think actually replicating? How does that work then? Because it's a fucking website. How can it?
Deep Sid uses I think it's a JavaScript SID emulator based on the SID Play FP library. I think
that's what I thought. Yeah,
it's
amazing what you can do in JavaScript these days. Or amazing what some people can do in JavaScript. I can do sod all.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, you're never going to you can't fully capture a SID chip. They're getting better all the time, but it's that analog part of it. It's just so hard to emulate.
Have you seen Panther? Have you seen the Pico Sid USB?
No, I haven't.
You can actually put it's a Pi Pico on a board connected to USB that you can plug into your computer. In that board, you can plug in 2 SID chips, so you can actually play it genuine SID through Vice.
Oh, right, okay, that's handy to know. I'll tell you something. You know the Denise emulator.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really played about because I stopped messing about with videos for a bit. I have got the one that's got the Amiga bit, but when I was doing my last couple of C64 videos, I noticed that had the ability to use more than one SID chip in it, and I had it set up as I would have my SID-FX set up. And I'll tell you what, the emulation of the SIDs in that emulator is pretty fucking good. You know, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a smart bastard, but how do you know? Just because you know a tune that well that you've played in a real C64, and then when you play it through that, you think that sounds pretty good? Is it just through kind of having an ear for a SID tune? Is it?
Yeah, and also having a Commodore 64 set up and playing the same tune through the real thing to see what the difference is.
I can't tell a difference unless I've got them compared side by side.
Aye, I'm probably the same. Steve, you've been remarkably quiet. Being a Spectrum man, what do you make of the SID music scene?
Well, I've been quiet because when it comes to music, I know next to nothing, so I don't want to make a complete ass of myself. Sid, I love the Sid. I mean, you can't not love the Sid. It was groundbreaking. Even today, it's just absolutely phenomenal. It's wonderful. You know, even yes, I'm a Spectrum fan. I love Circle Live. I love my Spectrum. The Sid is just phenomenal. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean it's one part of the C64 that has never aged. It gets better and better and better. I mean, some of the stuff that like myself, Panther, and Lycosa are kind of picked for the SID shows is just phenomenal. What was that? What was Lycosa's favourite tune? What was it called again?
Is that Alien?
No. What is it, Panther? You know what it is again? Not top. What was it called again?
Trying to think of what it was now.
You know the one I'm talking about. I mean, I can't remember who the hell it was. I'll let somebody hear that.
Oh, you're on about Marcus Klein's Hi-Fi Sky, aren't you?
Yeah. I would play it in this thing, but the StreamYard is absolutely shit. Oh, wait a minute. We could actually play it. We could play it using Deep SID, couldn't we? Yeah, let's give that a go. If that's all right, if you don't mind listening to some SID music. Move that over there.
I'll always listen to some Sid music.
While I'm looking, Steve, what would you say? Is there any impressive music on the Spectrum?
Compared to the Sid, I have to say no. The AY chip just doesn't compete. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean the thing is when you listen to like the original sort of Spectrum games, it was just like little bleeps and farts and whatever it was. It was like fucking R2D2 and Speed. But then they started to, I mean, like, was it Joffa Smith? He started putting out some music using that, and it's like, fucking hell, it's mental, absolutely mental. What was that called again, Panther?
Hi-Fi Sky by Marcus Klein.
High Five.
Hi-Fi Sky.
Oh, Hi-Fi, as in Hi-Fi, right, Hi-Fi Sky. Hi-Fi Sky, no results found. Oh, it's Marcus Klein, isn't it? Marcus, Klin. There we go. Search. No result. Oh, wait, how do you spell Marcus? In fact, I'll just put Klein. Let's have a look.
Klein.
Right, there we go. Marcus Klein. Was it under...
I'm gonna talk to Steve while you're fucking about, Al. I'll tell you one thing, Steve. The AY chip, someone that can do it, and that's David Whittaker. Because I think when you listen to Glider Rider, for example, it sounds exactly the same on the SID and the AY. It's nigh on identical.
Wow.
Al, look for L-Man.
I've found it. No, I've got Hi-Fi Sky there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present screen, entire screen. share system loaded. Hopefully this works all right. I mean, I know StreamYard is a bit shit when it comes to music.
As long as it don't end up like that fucking parallax during the live stream.
Priceless. Right, this is Marcus Klein Hi-Fi Sky from 2015. Hopefully this is going to work. Let's take it away. What do you think? What do you think of that, Steve?
I think that's brilliant. Really good. Really, really good.
I mean, I think if you somebody bought if you bought like a 10 grand synthesizer now and made that tune, folk go, that's fucking brilliant. We're talking about something that came out and was it 1982. It was I was actually trying to think of the worst SID tune ever. I mean, when you compare that with like the early stuff, it's phenomenal what it's doing. It's you know, mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. I'm just curious, Panther, why have you got two windows? You've got you and then you've got another one.
Have I? I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of disappeared and then you reappeared. I'm going to kick this one out. Ban from. No, I better not click ban. I'll just leave it. Yeah, Colin. I mean, what do you make? What do you make of that?
It's brilliant. I thought that when I first heard it.
Is that it? Oh, I thought you were going to talk a bit longer than that.
No, it's,
Fucking
I think
hell,
it
right?
uses some special techniques to get more voices out of it. So it's quite an impressive tune technically as well as good on the ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Panther. I mean, you're obviously the Sid Meister. Who would you say can produce the most technically? Sort of from a technical point of view, who can do it? It doesn't just because you can be technical doesn't mean you can actually write good music. But who would you say has mastered the Sid chip sort of best when it comes to technical ability? Or is there quite a few?
That's a question. Well, definitely. I think we've just played one of the best things ever to be made on the Sid.
Yeah.
So I'd say Marcus Klein personally, and I do think he's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, he's doing stuff you're not supposed to be able to do with it.
Aye. Is he still putting stuff out? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, he had a cartridge that went in the 64 and a vinyl version of it, and that a couple of years ago. Yeah, he's still putting stuff out as far as I know.
I mean that was 2015, right? I'm just looking through. I'm just
and
well, there's one here, Angel 2023. So that's fairly recent.
He's still putting stuff out. He is. I'm pretty sure he's actually still active.
I'll go and play a bit of Angel and see what his newest stuff's like then.
Well, what about this one, Sensor Groove Loader? Will we give that a go? Yeah, let's play it and see what we make it.
Here goes the copyright strike.
Well, that was a fucking very short one, right? Hang on a second. Let's put Angel. There we go.
There we are. That tune is 6,087 bytes and was written on Christmas Day. I was released on Christmas Day 2023.
So to put that into K then, Colin, what was that? How much?
Less than 6K.
That's impressive. What was Hi-Fi
Guy is 49K for comparison. I think the most impressive, getting the most bang out of your buck for size for music is Linus Ackerson, LFK Pro LFK. What's his handle? LFT Cairo. He's the one who did the Commodorian or Commodorian.
Right, go and spell that. Let's. What? How do you spell that again, Colt?
LFT KYRO. It might be under
KYRO.
Yeah. He's put out a demo, 256 bytes, a full SID tune, and it's quite a mess on the screen, but it's a demo in 256 bytes, a full SID tune. That's about 3 minutes. He's also put another demo out, 4K, with 7 stereo, 7 2-SID tunes, 27 minutes worth in 4K.
Okay, Neil, is it going to be on this thing, do you think?
It'll be there, but yeah.
I've got to go something beat Thomas DeTurk Gordian tune. That's about 11K for 32 minutes worth.
That's insane.
That's nice.
So, what do you guys? I mean, we've probably spoke about this before. What do you think? How much do you think a good SID tune actually enhances a game experience?
Yeah, of course it does. You know, it's like you put on like I know it's often talked about Sanxion by Rob Hubbard, but I remember when I bought that game. You know, went down to the local shop. Me and mate bought a game each. We stuck that on. The loading music started. We didn't get to the game. We when the loading music finished, we basically stopped, restarted. We listened to the music 3 times before we even got to the game. It's a standout part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably all agree that Sanction's not a particularly great game, but it's the music that makes that one.
You know what you're doing.
If
you're looking on Deep Sid, you'll find him. LFT is the musician, and his large one is called Machine Yearning. But that's 27 minutes, as I say.
We're not going to listen to all that. What was the tiny little what was it called again? The tiny little
hang on, let's have a look. It's I remember what it was called. I'll find it now. Give me a second. A Mind is Born.
A Mind is Born. There we go. So this is, what is this? This is there it's here, 256 bytes, which is, what is that? Is that like a quarter of a K or something?
Quarter of a K. It fits in 0-page memory of a Commodore 64.
Colin, that means absolutely nothing to me. Fucking hell. Right, let's listen to this. Boof. Fucking
And
mentally.
that 256 bytes includes the code to play the tune.
Mental. Yeah, just absolutely incredible what these guys are fucking doing. Mental. So getting back to what I was talking about, how get to kind of reverse it or put it on its arse. Could anybody name a game on the Commodore 64 that, if you stripped away the excellent sound or the excellent music, would be an extremely mediocre game or wouldn't have done as well?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yep. You're probably right. You're probably right, Steve. I mean, that was one of the games that was always. It was always, anytime I went up to John Menzies, it was always running. The thing is, it didn't actually have any music playing, did it? I think it plays in complete silence once you start the
It
game.
had the music all playing.
Yeah, I always think Commando. You take away. I mean, Commando is 80% music and 20% game. You take that away, and it's quite a mediocre game.
What about Zoids?
Yeah, Zoids is a very complex game. It's very difficult to get into. And yeah, the music is absolutely excellent, but the game is
terrible.
I've got up to the third. I've got up to the third piece on Zoids, but every time I've done it, it crashes. You cannot hit anything if you send a missile or anything. If you're trying to in battle with Zoids, unless you jam the signal first, and that's what makes it so complex. Jamming the signal is so bloody hard. If you can get jamming the signal, that's how I beat the first two bases. Got onto the third one, but it crashed every single time.
Yep, Mark 20 Century Gaming, he has said Delta. Delta is one of these. I mean, the music in that is phenomenal. The game is very much a memory game.
All shoot 'em up to memory games, aren't they? Let's be honest. Even Commando is a memory game.
Yeah, because it's the same baddies, it's the same patterns. Yeah, you're probably right, actually.
The reason Commando is so bad or so short is because they wanted to keep the music in. They didn't want to cut down the music, so they had to take the music and cut down the levels to fit.
Is that right?
Let's get a new version. They did the arcade special edition.
They got better techniques now, haven't they? They know more. They know the machine more now.
Yeah, it's got all the levels back in. It's got the visuals back in, and you can choose the new version of the music or the original. I'd choose the original every time because the new one ain't that. But yeah, it's a good piece of music, but it's not a patch on the Hubbard tune.
Yeah. It's one of the games where the music on the Commodore 64 is far better than the music on the arcade version.
True.
Yeah, you're probably right. They did, obviously, I can't remember what the group were, but they did Ghosts and Goblins. Is there a game that you would like to see that group do the same, give it the same treatment, add in the extra levels? Can you think of?
Blimey.
I think they're already working on Bomb Jack. Because the original Bomb Jack, if you're any good at Bomb Jack, the original Commodore 64 Bomb Jack is a pile of cack.
Yeah.
I never actually mind it, actually.
I didn't mind it either until I actually realised, until people pointed out that it was far too kind of he's fat looking, and there's not enough space to kind of play the thing. But also I think the bombs, although the bombs are circular, they've got this big black square around them. It was almost like it was like they'd released an unfinished game.
Well, it was elite.
I thought that's very true.
No, I didn't mind it because it even though I had completely the wrong music compared to the arcade one, it did have some very arcade-like sounds on it, and it was nice and smooth to play. But yeah, as you say, the play area was tiny. Everyone raved about the Spectrum one, which was pretty bloody good, but it's monochrome, wasn't it? That's just the only thing I didn't like about it.
It was out to play in the Spectrum one, and I was looking forward to getting the C64 one. I thought, if they can do this on the Spectrum, what can they do on the Commodore 64? And the answer is completely fuck it up.
Weren't Graham Cowie doing a beer edition for the Commodore 64? No, he'd done the Amiga one. I'm sure I thought him or someone else was doing one for the 64 as well. I can't remember.
I think somebody's doing it, but it's not out yet.
I know Graham.
Yeah.
I think Graham was working on a shoot 'em up for the Amiga the last time I saw him. Well, that was over a year ago, right enough, when I saw him down in Zap Live.
And we've seen some cracking arcade ports on the Amiga this last year from JOTD and some of the few people. I mean, we had Flying Shark it's not the arcade game. It's got different patterns, but it's more difficult as well, but it really is playable. We've had the JOTD practically perfect arcade games.
What was that? JOTD?
JOTD, like Moon Patrol and Gallagher and Galaxian.
On the Amiga?
On the Amiga, yeah.
Is there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. How come I've not seen these? I'm not aware of these ones.
There's the recent one. There's the recent one which is still being made. It's on the second beta now, which is King and Balloon. And that's not JOTD. That's somebody else. I got on the real Amiga. I got on Tuesday. I got 71k on that one. So yeah, it plays quite close to the arcade. So it's a good port. Good port.
Steve, sorry, Panther. Steve, in your opinion, what would you say is the best arcade conversion in the Spectrum?
Oh, Jesus,
apart from Chase HQ, you can't pick that one.
That's a really tough question. Oh, good grief! I didn't play many arcade conversions. I don't know. I have to hold my hands up and say I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know.
I think Panther mentioned that one. I think Bomb Jack in the Spectrum. We need to forget that it's got fuck all color or fuck all sound. But as far as like graphics and like even the proper aspect ratio, Bomb Jack and Commando, and even probably 1942, I would say they're actually. I'm going to upset Panthers by saying this. They're probably better ports than the C64, though I still do like Commando in the C64 just because of the music. But I mean, I
would disagree with you totally on Commando, but not the other two.
I knew you would.
You're right on the other two, not Commando, because Commando at least looks and sounds like the arcade, whereas the Spectrum one's like a cosmic fucking yellow ice drone.
I was surprised when I first saw Commando on the Spectrum, though. I thought, were they doing smooth scrolling?
I think with the Spectrum, once you, because when I was lad, my mate had a Spectrum, and the first time I saw the Spectrum, I couldn't believe how shit it looked. I was just like, fucking look at it! It's like the colours are all bleeding. I just thought that's horrible. But you know, I've owned Spectrums now for a long time, and I can now look at games like Commando and Bomb Jack and that and think these are actually they're good. Once you see beyond the black and white and lack of sound. You know, it put out some fantastic conversions. What would you guys say is probably the best arcade conversion in the C64?
Bubble Bobble or Arkanoid.
Yeah, they're
not my favourite games, but they're bloody good conversions.
Yeah.
They are. I would play Bubble Bobble as well.
I don't think there was a bad version of Bubble Bobble. Every version, it was like that in R-Type. R-Type, when you consider how kind of like good it was, like graphically wise, there wasn't a really bad version of R-Type. And yet you look at some other stuff, and you're like fucking woeful conversions. But R-Type seemed to, on every single system that it came out on, it seemed to kind of tick the box. I've got to say one. I think probably, and I'm not just saying this because he's a friend, but I think. Nick Sherman's Burger Time is fucking incredible.
It's better in the arcade, actually. It's easier in the arcade because you don't get stuck on ladders, and he programmed that in deliberately.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about Nick, a lot of his stuff is I think the last
5 from 5.
No, was the Commodore 64 any good at arcade ports? The last one was pure Arlosoft because Nick gave me a copy of Unfinished Robotron, and Nick, you really should fucking finish that, man, because it's got so much promise.
Have you played Lunar Rescue on the Spectrum by Alan Turvey? Lunar Rescue RX?
No.
That is phenomenal. It is arcade perfect. Arcade perfect games. Wonderful.
Oh. Oh, I've just thought of a recent C64 arcade port, which is practically arcade perfect, and that's Lock and Chase. Might not be everybody's favorite style of game, but it's bloody close to arcade perfect. I think that's about the closest I've seen to arcade perfect on the Commodore 64. That's Lock and Chase. Because I played that down in Weymouth in the arcade when that was the first time I saw it. Don't see it very often, but yeah, it's a very, very good arcade port.
Lock and Chase, is that not, what is that like? Is that not similar to Head On? Was it nothing
It's
like
similar
that?
to Pac-Man, but you chase, you can trap the you're obviously you're the villain. You're picking up coins, trying to pick up the cash bags in the middle, trying to trap the cops, and then when you finish, when you've cleared it all up, you've got to get out. And then he gets into the car and drives off, goes to the next level. Quite slow gameplay.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's a game I like, yeah.
Yeah, Mark's saying Gyrus and Mr. Doo's Castle.
Gyrus is awesome. How can I forget Gyrus?
Yeah. Did it have, anytime I've played that on an emulator, it always flickers like fuck. Is that what is that what it always was like?
I'm gonna have to try that on real hardware, but I don't think you notice that. I don't think you notice it on a CRT, because a CRT, of course, has got the afterglow. I think you still notice it on an LCD, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad.
Yeah.
Another reason you'll notice it flicker is because when you're doing it on emulation, the game is running at 50 hertz and it's doing sprite multiplexing, and which means it's using one sprite in two locations and flicking between them. But the game is running at 50 hertz. Your monitor is usually showing at 60 hertz or 75 or a different frequency. So you're going to get mismatch there. So it exaggerates the flicker, if you know what I mean. Because it's out of sync.
Yeah. Have any of you guys seen Mr. Doo's Castle? That's absolutely
I haven't
phenomenal.
seen Mr. Doo's Castle on the 64.
You haven't?
I think I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
Oh, I feel there may be a shared screen coming up here. I know my mate likes it. So we're going to have to fucking look at this now, whether we like it or not.
No, I'll spare you. No, it's a it's an
No,
absolutely
chuck it on
phenomenal.
now. Chuck it on. I'm only trying the piss, mate. Put it up.
Right. Fuck you too. Right, hang on a second. Right.
I'd have to get back into Mr. Doo's Castle to figure out how to clear a fucking level.
Right.
I don't understand how to play it.
That's the trouble.
Yeah.
It's a complex game.
It's quite a deep game, actually.
When it was in our local chip shop, which I didn't play very often, but when it was in a local chip shop, that was the second local chip shop. There was you had the instructions on the actual cabinet, but without those instructions, you're buggered. They're not really complex, you know. The instructions are quite simple, but unless you know them, you can't complete the game, can't complete the level.
Right, there's this fucking Scottish YouTuber arsehole. Right, anyway, that's a conversion and a half. That fucking crazy, Colin.
Intercept the software crazy, Colin. What could possibly go wrong?
Right, but man, that's a Atari one. In fact, let's look at this. Is that the arcade? Yeah, that's the arcade. I'll just turn the sound up for a second.
On the floor, and then they fall.
Can you hear the sound?
You can quiet blocks on their head.
Can you hear the sound?
Can you hear the sound?
I can hear the sound. I can also hear the power of you recycling your own video. Well,
So that is
one to go.
and to answer Bob, since he's asked me, life is peachy, mate. I'm living my best life. Thank you very much, mate.
Oh yeah. Sorry, baby Bob's called you. Yeah. Hey, so anyway, that's the arcade one, and I'll now.
Wait, first of all,
Back in the day.
There we go. There's the C64 one.
It's not bad, is it? Not bad at all.
Fucking brilliant.
Now, when you get this, that turns.
Great.
Hit the shield.
Yeah, the idea, Steve, is to kill I think they're unicorns. I think you can do. The only way to kill them is by knocking blocks on their head, or else you can. Do they fall to their death? I can't fucking remember actually. I can't remember exactly, but it is quite a kind of deep game. But once you get into it, it's great.
it's a bit like Space Panic.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. That was a game that was on every computer. The early days. Panic, was it called Panic or Space Panic?
The arcade was Space Panic. It was called
Yeah.
Panic. Panic, different spellings, sometimes with a K. It was. I loved it in the arcade. There's a guy, Luke, Mr. Nut 123 on, or Mr. Two Nut 123 on Twitch, and he's got the world record on it, something like 40,000 points, because he can actually he can run rings around these monsters even when you got to drop them down 3 levels.
Just a little.
They're crushing cans in the background is so depressing.
I had a.
That was a way to get out my joke.
There was a guy. He was in my house the last couple of days doing some work to my kitchen worktops, and he saw my arcade cabinets. He's like, "Oh fuck, Defender, fucking hell!" I put it on. He goes, "I've never played that since I don't know whenever it was, like 1981 or something, whatever it was." I put it on, and he got fucking 38,000 in his first go. He went, "Oh, no, it says muscle memories. I used to play that at college," and he's like, "I'm going to build myself one of these."
No, I do.
You know what? Yeah, there's the ColecoVision version. Yeah, that's fucking awful.
ColecoVision was quite an awesome console for its time.
It was, yeah, but I think you can see there. I think the sprites, the main sprite was multicolored. But
yeah, they probably used more than one sprite to create it.
Aye, I don't know.
The sprites were only monochrome.
Oh, that's the 5200 one. Wait a minute, I'm fucking looking at. There's a Coleco. In fact, there's a Coleco version there. It's not bad.
Oh, pretty good.
I remember Qbert on the Coleco being almost arcade perfect.
I just remember playing bloody Donkey Kong in Woolworths. They always had that one running. Anyway, yeah. So is there any game that's never been ported to 8 bits that you would love to see? I mean, obviously, the later ports were just like a step too far. Where I don't know, like, well, obviously your Outruns and all that kind of stuff. I mean, is there any arcade game that never got ported and you think I would love to have seen that you can think of?
Was the Pit ported?
The Pit.
The Pit was ported to the Vic.
The Pit.
So yeah, the Pit is on the Vic 20.
Was the Pit? Was that the one that Andrew Walker did? No.
No, the Pit is the one where you got the Zonka bashing, shooting the mountain out to get at your UFO, and you got to go down, collect gems, and then get back up through the monster pit and back up to your UFO before the Zonka gets through the mountain and your UFO buggers off. All the sprites are basically single character, but it's quite a fun game to play, but really tricky.
Yeah.
You're actually blasting holes. You're actually blasting a tunnel as you go. Now the enemies can walk around quite freely, and of course, when you're moving around, you're blasting tunnels and slowing down, and they can catch up with you easy. You can shoot horizontally, but not vertically. Yeah, I do remember the game quite well.
So, was there a conversion that came out in 8-bit that was absolutely shite, and you think they could have done a lot better? Steve, I'll let you talk about the Spectrum. There must be something. There was always. I mean, what would you say was a bad conversion in the Spectrum, apart from Outrun? Because I mean, that was universally shite. Was there any game, well, you actually said there earlier on you don't really play arcade conversions, but you must have played some that you thought that is fucking awful.
Well, there was a ton of really crappy Space Invaders and Galaxian clones, weren't there? Real loads of them.
Computers, though, weren't it? Everyone had a lot of them.
Yeah.
On the Commodore 64, we had arcade classics, which very disappointing clones. Very disappointing when I played them. I think I played it once, each one once or twice.
I bought
that shit a few times for the music, because it was good music, but only played each of the games once because I was very disappointed with them.
Yeah, crap that was.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I don't think there was. I think there might have been, but I wasn't aware. There was never a Space Invaders clone for the Commodore 64.
Not a proper one.
No, I can't even think of any. Was there any even clones of it? I can't remember playing a clone of Space Invaders on the C64 at all.
Oh yeah, Arcade Classics had a clone.
And it was a
Arcade
bit
Classics had a
shit.
clone of Space Invaders, but it was shit. Yeah.
It looked more like was it Pet Invaders or something? It was it was like absolutely nothing to do with it. And yet, I wonder why that was. Do you think it was just because, what we're talking about? We're talking about 1982. People were excited getting their own home video games. Nobody wanted to play a port of like a 2-year-old arcade game.
That's it. I think.
Nobody wanted
that. So we had Avenger on the Vic.
Aye, so it could have been done, but for whatever reason. But one game that was converted to all the machines that I can recall, and it was universally shit, and it was Rolling Thunder.
Too much for anyone to handle. I mean, Graham had to go at Rolling Thunder, didn't he? And he said the layering on it made it too complex to program on any of the popular micros of the time.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. I mean, I'm not technical in the slightest, but he did say that to me, that there was a reason why that was was completely shit. But the thing that disappointed me most of all was the music, the music. I mean, Rolling Thunder is a fantastic game, but the music just adds to it. It really, really makes it an experience to play. And the home versions, even the Amiga, I think the Amiga had the sort of drum roll or the bongos, whatever you want to call it, and that was it. But it didn't have the actual main kind of tune,
like a 5-second loop sample. It was.
Aye,
on the Amiga.
that was all it was. Dale's just mentioned Wizard of War. That is an exceptional. Arcade conversion.
I love that game.
Did that come out in the Spectrum at all, Steve?
Wizard of War, not that I know of, no. If it did, I missed it.
Yeah, I did have the cartridge version of that. But what was interesting was it was released by Commodore, and they released a version earlier on, and which was complete wank, and then they released a really good version later on. So it's interesting that they actually do that. I wonder if the first one actually got an actual release. I'm not too sure.
No idea.
You played Wizard of War, Panther? Are you a fan of it? No, he's fucking going to sleep again. he's fallen asleep. Fucking hell. Anyway, we'll play another Sid tune, folks. What do you think? You want to listen to something else? Right, Steve, you pick a Sid. What would you like to hear, mate?
Oh man, when it comes to Sids, I'm a total Hubbard fanboy. So
nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. What would you like to hear?
Oh, choices. Oh man. Let me think. It's got to be Zoids.
Zoids. I'm not massively familiar with that one. I think Lacozer picked that as one of his favourite Sid tunes. Right, let's have a look. Oh, wait a minute. We need to put in Hubbard search.
Ken Killer's a good one, but
Ancestors by Synergy, I think, is the main track.
Sorry, Panther, what were you saying there, mate?
I said Ken Tiller's a good one by Rob Hubbard, but it is about 12 minutes long.
We can stick that on. Right, hang on. Zoids, Hubbard, Zoids. There we go. Right, let's. This is for Steve. Let's take it away, Rob. There you go, Steve. How was that, mate?
Wonderful, thank you.
It is epic, isn't it?
Of course, the other one he did from the same artist was Master of Magic.
Say that again, Colin. What did you say there?
The other one Rob did from the same artist, Synergy, is Master of Magic.
What do you mean the same?
The same original album, the original music.
Oh, really? So these
Yeah,
are actually
Master of
taken
Magic is
from.
the same. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So they're not original.
They're rearranged.
I didn't realize that. The same in Monty and the Run. Is that not based on
It's
yeah?
Monty on the Run was based on what they used for Dick Barton Special Agent. I think it was some sort of the detective theme. It was based on that. It wasn't exactly the same. It was just based on that.
Yeah. Still an incredible track.
Yeah.
Dale saying there that what was it? Invaders 64 by Livewire was not bad. I do remember Livewire. They only put 3 or 4 games, but I can't actually recall that one. Yeah. Right. We were talking about something in Discord a couple of days ago. The Spectrum. You all know what that is. It's whatever. I can't remember the name of the company. They're bringing out this recreated Spectrum. What's Panther, what's your thoughts on these recreated mini systems? Are they a good thing or a bad thing, and who do they appeal to? What's our target market, do you think? He's fucked off again. Where is he? Panther, come back, fuck's sake. Right, Steve, you answer the question since he's going to sleep. What are you a fan of the mini systems? And you know, who do they think? Who do you think they're actually appealing to?
Oh, damn. Get me in trouble, won't you? Bloody hell. Thanks, Panther. Okay, so who do they appeal to? I've no idea. Maybe they try to get people into gaming who missed it first time around. I don't know. Do they appeal to me? No. All that. That said, I do have the the larger Commodore 64, we know the full size one.
Mm.
I have that, but it's not been used in like 2 years. So I don't know. It doesn't really appeal to me. Will I be buying one of these? No.
Yeah, Colin, what do you think? I mean, are they a waste of time, or are they a good thing,
They-
bad thing?
I think they're a good thing on the whole. They're going to appeal to casual retro gamers, anybody who hasn't got a clue how to set up an emulator or anything. Most of them I'm not interested in. I do have the C64, and I will be getting for Christmas the Spectrum. The reason is the keyboard, purely and simply the keyboard. I don't use the C64 much because I got a real Commodore 64, so I got a keyboard for that. But I do believe I'll be using the Spectrum more than I use the Mysticore for the Spectrum because of the keyboard. It's got the right layout, and that's what matters to me.
Oh, all right. So I thought you were just a fan of spongy keys, but yeah, it's because you've got the actual layout. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, what are my thoughts on them? I think they're a great thing. I mean, I think they appeal to Steve just alluded on. What was it yourself, Colin? I think they appeal to the casual gamer. They appeal to the guy that's probably never played a Spectrum in 40 odd years, and it's his missus will go into like one of these gadget shops and she'll go, oh bloody hell, I remember one of these. I'll get that from my husband. It gives people an opportunity to play Spectrum games. They can plug it into their 55-inch Samsung TV. They can enjoy it for a wee bit and then put it away. Of course, I don't think they really. People like ourselves, we've got real hardware, or in my case, I've got multiple options to play Spectrum games. You're always going to get the hardware purists that say, oh, they're just emulators, blah, blah, a lot of shite. But no, you know what? Who gives a fuck what they say? At the end of the day, it's a nice thing. It allows people to enjoy games. So it's not harming anybody. It's not harming anybody. But back to you, Steve. There is something about this Spectrum that you said you would never buy one because of this feature. Tell the viewers, what is that?
Oh, you don't want me to rant, do you?
Go for it, mate.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to make myself look like an old fossil now. Look, it's got a feature where you can rewind your game. So if you fuck up, you just press a button or whatever you do and rewind. I'm sorry, that just pisses me off. And countless people have said to me, because I've talked about it on forums and that, countless people have said to me, well, don't use it. That's not the point, man. She shouldn't be there in the first fucking place. I don't want to press a fucking rewind button to rewind. If I arse up in the game, then I arse up in the game. I accept it. It's my mistake. I play it again. A rewind button just kills it. I mean, I don't mind it in modern games, but in 8 bits, rewind button in 8 bits, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
I
shut up
will
now.
say one thing. I have never used a rewind button, even if I've known it was available. Never used it. It's the same with cheats. I mean, you use a crack throw version. No. I don't want to play cheats. If I used to use cheats to see further into the game. If you want to see further into the game, no, just use YouTube. You can just enjoy playing the game as it's meant to be played without cheating. So I'll never use a rewind function. But yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, though, Steve. Yeah.
The thing that gets me, or doesn't get me, games back in like 1982, whatever, there was very little memory. So, and you maybe had like 12 levels, whatever. If they were easy, then you would. I mean, let's take for example Man Ain't Minor. That's balls hard. It had to be hard because you would complete it within 5 minutes. And if you're using a rewind thing, in theory, you're going to be able to complete Man Ain't Minor within about 10 minutes. So you're completely. It's a bit like playing an arcade game and turning off spike detection. You're completely removing the challenge from the game. Games like Man Ain't Minor and any other 8-bit game, it was never designed to have the option to rewind. And whilst it's been put in there for the Snowflake Brigade so that the kids, they can play the game, whatever. But yeah, I saw a few people saying, "Oh well, Steve, wait a minute, it's you don't have to use it, whatever." But I'm with Steve. It's no, don't do that. It's just it's a bit like
save states.
What's that?
It's a similar thing to save states. It's I suppose you could call it like a one-off save state. So rather than using save state, it's the same sort of thing. You just go back and continue where you left off. But yeah, I don't use save states either.
Yeah, it's almost a bit like bringing out a new version of Space Invader, releasing Space Invaders for like the home market, but you can also have like an auto-fire machine gun. You've just broken it, because these games have been tailored so... They've been tailored to within an inch of their life to make them just pixel perfect, and trying to get... They've just got the right...
But in a minute, you're sharing your screen.
Oh, hang on. I'll just take that off. I'm just hang on a second, take that off. No, it's anything. I'm just turning monetization on now. Get 50 pence. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's a bit like what was I talking about? Yeah, trying to refine the difficulty to get it perfect must take a lot of time. And if you go and fling in a rewind thing, then yeah, you're kind of losing the point of it, I think.
Yeah. I'm talking about cracks. Do you know, if you look around, you'll find my game's been cracked. Even my game has been cracked and put online.
And has it got what do you call it? Has it got like
infinite lives? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't checked the crack, but it's probably infinite lives.
Is your game in game base by any chance? Do you know?
I don't know, but I found it on Assembly 64 through my Commodore 64. You got that. If you upgrade to the latest Ultimate 2 firmware, you can press F6 or F5. No, it's got to be a real Commodore 64. It won't work on. Oh, I see where you're checking game base.
I just want to see if it's. When did you bring it out, Colin? What year was it?
Oh, 2018. 2018, mine was.
Sounds like Panther's getting mauled with his dog. Fucking hell. We can only hope. Anyway, right, where are we? 28. What was the name of the game again?
Cruising on Broadway.
Of course it was. Panther, you all right, mate? Sounds like either that or he's on the toilet and he's got a fucking dicky tummy. Fuck's sake. Where are we? Oh, sorry, cruising. Right, wait a minute. I can't help. There we go.
I'm on there.
It says it's public domain 2019.
Yeah, it is. That's right. It is.
Yeah, it's even got screenshots, mate. Look at that.
Nice. Excellent.
Let's see what it says. I don't know if it says very much. No.
Nah, I don't really.
No. So
it's free. It's free to download up from itch. So yeah, it is public domain.
Oh, you'll need to get your picture uploaded for the next game base, mate. Okay. Have you ever had? How long did it take to actually write this?
I think it was about 9 months off and on, to be honest, to get it all done. And then it went out to a few people who tried it, yourself included. Nifty Retro Gamer was the one who really helped, though, because he said it was difficult to turn corners. When he said that, I put a bit of code in there, so when you were doing diagonal, if you were going diagonal, it would automatically take the next corner.
Right.
Rather than being stuck, you could. It's like the ladders on Burger Time.
Aye, yeah, got to be.
You don't get stuck.
Perfect. Steve, how's your programming coming? I know you were kind of dabbling with. You were dabbling with Pico 8 and that, weren't you? At some point.
I'm just too bloody dumb, man. I mean, I've tried countless different programming languages, and I have a lot of passion for it. I just don't have any talent for it. So I start ideas and I just give up because I run into problems. So yeah, lacking the skill.
Yeah, I suppose that's not something that I've ever actually attempted to do. Have you got any other sort of thoughts about programming, Colin? Anything else on the horizon, you think?
I tend to take a project, program using that language, and then forget about everything else. Then I've done it now. I'm happy. That sort of thing. But the one language I do seem to stick with is Python, which is a modern language, a modern interpreted language, which means it runs it line by line rather than you compile it and turns it into machine code. It runs it line by line, and you can actually. It's very powerful, very. It can be very simple or very complex, but yeah, you can start really simple with Python.
Right, that doesn't mean a single thing to me anyway, but
I think my biggest project in Python was actually it's got a nice little graphical interface as well, where I can actually when I get the spreadsheet for my work's schedule, I can run it. I've written a program so I can run my spreadsheet through my program, and it'll create something I can import then into Google Calendar. Saves a hell of a lot of typing.
Right. And what does Python run on then? Is it like a PC?
Anything.
PC,
PC, Linux, Mac, anything. You can even get it for Android in a limited fashion. But yeah, it'll run on anything.
All right. Did any of you guys do much programming in BASIC back in the day?
Oh yes, a lot.
Oh yes.
I don't think I got beyond think of a number between 1 and 20, and you have to guess. You have to type in. That was about as far as I ever got in.
There was me and my mate. He had his ZX81. I said, "Come on, Dad. Think about." My father was there. I said, "Come on, Dad. Think of a game we can write." And he said, "Spot the spot." So we wrote it. All I did was put a random fucking dot on the screen somewhere, and about 5 seconds later, it'll come up. Here it is, and that was it.
So, Steve, did your game include graphics? Did you ever actually get games off the ground as such when you programmed back in the day?
The only graphics I did like UDGs on the Spectrum, 8x8 characters. Yeah, that was it. Nothing advancing. As for machine code, it's I was like, I might as well try to learn Martian. It's way. So it's so far over my head. It's in the orbit around the moon. So no machine code, no way. So just UDGs for graphics.
First machine code I did was on a ZX81, believe it or not. With simple things like clear screen routines or draw a spiral, which started off as drawing boxes, but it worked out that if you did it slowly, you draw a spiral. And that was a complete accident. Look at this, it's drawing a spiral.
It's funny, I just never had. I mean, when I got my C64, I got the manual with it, and I typed in some of the wee kind of basic routines. But the minute a game appeared, that was it. I never had any interest in pursuing programming.
I think my biggest, if you like, a weird achievement was on the VIC-20. The game Turtles.
Yeah.
It was in a kerfuffle, and I actually won that. I even beat Graham 10 Shearers on that. And so the reason I got so good at it was it was in my really local chip shop, like 10 feet away, and I had a VIC-20 at the time, so I thought I can write this in BASIC. So I wrote a version in BASIC, and I started playing the BASIC version I wrote on the VIC-20. And then I went to the chip shop and I found I could actually play Turpin well. And then I found out there were 4 different screen layouts. So I wrote it on the VIC-20 where it would load each screen layout from tape, and you'd have to rewind the tape at the end and go back to the first layout. Yeah, it'd load the layout from tape. But that's how I got good on Turpin, was because I wrote the VIC-20 version. And even though it was in BASIC and it was slow, it was good enough.
So how would you see? This is what I don't understand. If you switch a Commodore 64 on, it loads up BASIC. How do you program it? How do you program in machine code? Have you got to get like a cartridge or something, or how does that work?
No. On a Commodore 64, it's a little bit simpler because you've got a dedicated area of memory, 4K, starting at 49152 that you can use for small machine code programs. But basically, what I used to do was I used to write the code out on paper, turn that into numbers, put those numbers into data statement, read the data statements and poke them into memory. And that's it.
I'm getting concerned about Panther. I think this is like getting fucking eaten alive. Panther, are you there, mate? You maybe saw the curry or something. He's sitting in the toilet. Eh? Okay, no. So, Steve, what apart from the Mister, do you actually own any other kind of like original hardware, and do you use it much, or is it all kind of? Well, I know you've just obviously rebought the Mister. Is it all kind of Mister or PC?
The original hardware, I have a BBC Model B, which has got an SD card reader on it. but it's been retired because it tends to blow chips for fun. Replace the same chip 3 times, so it's just looking pretty in the corner now. I do have a Spectrum, 128K Spectrum, which I built myself from component parts a couple of years ago. I love building that. It was such a great project. So I think that's about it. Yeah, just the BBC and the Spectrum original. Yeah.
So the Spectrum, is that a kind of like a new board that's been built?
Well, yeah, it's well, you buy a kit. It's got a Harlequin kit, and it's like the motherboard with the chips all separate and all the components, and you solder them on yourself. And it's just such a fun thing. If you don't mind soldering, it's such fun. I really enjoyed it. I did it slow, so it took me a while. It took me about a week. The thing that blew me away, and I still to this day I'm like, what the hell? Is I turned it on. When I first turned it on, I expected like a magic puff of smoke, and goodbye. It actually worked. I still can't believe it actually worked.
So how does that work? You get the board and then you buy the chips separate, and is there like a instructions? This one goes in here and whatever it is.
It's a kit. You buy the kit, and it's everything. The only thing it's missing is a ROM. You need to buy your own ROM. I use a +2 ROM. So you solder the sockets in, you solder the resistors, the capacitors, diodes, and away you go. Really good. You got to get your own keyboard for it, which is quite cheap. You can get different coloured ones than that, But it's if you don't mind soldering, it's a wonderful project. Really fun.
I don't know how I missed out on all that. I mean, everybody seems to be able to solder. I've never soldered in my fucking life, and I couldn't even imagine. I wouldn't even like to attempt it. Okay, hell. So, I mean, how do you get involved in soldering? Were you doing that as a child or what?
Yeah, I used to do electronic kits in the 70s. Practical electronics, that sort of thing, building little wirelesses and little gadgets and gizmos. Yeah.
That's my current soldering iron. It's got green on it, so it's green screen. So that's my soldering iron.
Nice. Was that a Temu special? Is it?
No, it's a Pinesel. So it's actually a branded make. It's a decent one. You plug it into USB. It's a proper 20-volt USB supply, and it heats up in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, good. My mate, he bought one similar to that. It's a soldering iron.
There we go.
Very good. And it's got a tiny little screen. It's got a screen about, I don't know, about a centimetre. And apparently you can actually, there's somebody wrote Tetris for it. You can actually play Tetris on this minute little screen.
It's got what's called Iron OS.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Iron OS is the firmware. It's the operating system the soldering iron runs on. So yes, you can easily program it. It's got that same sort of screen. So yeah.
So Steve, have you got any kind of modern? Do you play any modern games at all?
Well, not really these days. I did buy a PlayStation 5 launch day, but sold it. Not because I needed the cash at the time. It's just because I was so disappointed with that generation. It's just I'm waiting for these really cool games to come out, and nothing happened. I mean, in my opinion, for what it's worth, the best thing about the PS5 is the SSD because it loads games faster. Apart from that, the games you might as well be playing them on a PS4 Pro. So I got rid of that, and I do have a Steam Deck. So that's it. That's the only modern games I play on a Steam Deck.
Do you use your Steam Deck much?
Yeah, every night in bed.
I mean, I do love the Steam Deck, and the thing is, it's one of these things I forget I've got it, and it runs out of batteries, and I never use it. And then when I do fire it up, I'm like, this is fucking great, and I still stand by it as it is the ultimate handheld, And
I've just got this.
Thanks, that looks like what is that? Is that an RGB something?
Yep. Yep.
Is it?
That was on your recommendation. That was.
When did you buy that one?
I bought it from powkiddy.com, and I actually bought it while we were in the hotel.
Oh, of course it was. That was the one. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Where the hell is it? It's up there somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I think. What was I talking about? Why do I prefer? I mean, the Steam Deck is the ultimate handheld, and handheld.
Nice.
Oh, very nice, lovely. Handhelds are one of these things where people say, "Oh, it's nice to play like a Spectrum using a proper joystick and all that." Handhelds is one where I would say you're better off using modern solutions. You know, do you really want to play a Game Boy? We can hardly see the screen. Do you really want to play an Atari Lynx when it's fucking huge and the picture is absolutely shit? Or the what else? What we're talking about? The what's it called again? What was the handheld Sega? The Game Gear.
Oh, the Game Gear.
You know, yeah. You play these
The
games
Game
on
Gear where you got to change battery 3 times to play one game.
you play these games on a Steam Deck, and it's beautiful. You've got this big, I don't know what size it is, 8-inch by 4 inches or something. It's beautiful. It looks fantastic, and yeah, it's the Steam Deck is an incredible machine. I mean,
talking about old handhelds.
Oh, I had that bloody one. Oh, what was it called? Juggler? Is it Juggler or Ball? Yeah. I love these ones. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Is that an original? Is it? Or?
No, it's one of the recreations. I won that one. I got this. Oh, this is going to look good in a green screen.
What the hell is that? It's Star Wars
Gallagher.
or something?
It's Gallagher. It's a mini Gallagher.
We can just see through it, mate. It's just all we can see is the green lines.
yeah. But there we are. That's a mini Gallagher. My daughter got me that for Christmas one year. She said, "I know you like this sort of thing." So yeah.
Have any of you chaps tried the little what are they called again? The little sort of, is it the third? They're like 33% of the size.
I saw one at the Play Expo.
Aye.
But I never got a chance to play on it because there's crowds around them. But yeah, not my sort of thing because they're too limited. That's why I like the Mister. Because with the Mister you can just do anything with it basically.
I have a full size cabinet that I built myself about 3 years ago. It's got 300 games on it.
I'd love the room for a full size cabinet. Oh, I really would love the room for it. If I had the room, I would do the same, but I just don't.
Have you got a wardrobe? Have you got a wardrobe in your bedroom?
Yeah, but they're full. There's 2 of them, but they're full.
Get that to fucking get your Galaga cabin there, mate. I can help. Yeah. Tell the missus I told you to do it.
Yeah, I called it Gallagher, but apparently your pronunciation is correct, Gallagher.
Is it? Is it really? I don't know.
Apparently that's correct. Yeah.
I think I call it something else. So, Steve, you built is it a MAME cab or a cab that runs MAME?
Yeah, it's MAME. It's the front end is God, what's it called? I think it's bloody hell. I remember. It's got a custom front end on it. I can't remember what it's bloody called. Yeah, but it's MAME, yeah. And I sort of hidden Windows, so it boots up with a black screen. You don't see any Windows scrap anything, but it's great. I've got a spinner on it and a trackball, 4-way joystick, brilliant. Yeah, love it.
Steve?
No, it's not.
MU station.
It's a tracked mode. Is that it? A tracked mode? That's the front end.
Oh, I didn't know. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
I know Battle Sarah, which uses MU station.
Yeah.
And I know a Retro Arch, which is also in Battle Sarah.
Yeah, it's a tracked mode, but I love it a bit. It's a fantastic machine.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Can you imagine going back to your hometown, Steve? Well, it's not your hometown; it's where you live now. Blackpool. Can you imagine going to, into Blackpool in 1982, walking into one of the arcades, then somebody says to you, I could sell you this thing, and you'll have all these arcade games, and you're getting the arcade game, and it's going to be in your house. You'd be like, wow! And there you are. It still blows my mind. It's still I still get really excited about being able to turn my MAME cab on and just playing. I'm playing Defender or whatever. It's just phenomenal. And that's why I've always said that MAME is probably one of the best bits of software ever.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. And if somebody told me that back then, I would have laughed in the face. There's no way that's going to happen. But yeah, I love it. Every time I turn it on, I smile.
I used to dream of a handheld Defender.
Aye.
I
know. Can you imagine? I mean, look at even like a PSP, whatever it is, or that thing that you just showed me, whatever it's called, the RGB 30 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that, about 60 quid? You've got this thing that has just got everything. mental. You know, back in 1995, you wanted a new SNES game, you had to save up your money, and then you'd have to go to Virgin or whatever it is, and you'd say, "Do I get that game or do I get this one? Do I get that? Don't know." You have to make a choice. Now you've just got them. And do you think that has kind of diluted? Do you think not even just games? Do you think the fact that we live in a generation now where we've got all the TV? Well, that's not technically true because streaming TV doesn't have everything, but like music, well, we'll say films and that. We've just got it all there. Now you just, you want to play a game, you've got. I mean, I do these live streams and folk will say, play blah 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 on the Sharp X68000. There you go. I've got it. This would never be possible 20 years or 30 years ago. Now we've just got. I mean, I must have access to maybe like 200,000 games on my computer. It's just mental.
It's wonderful, but there's a drawback.
Yeah.
The drawback to me is I spend more time trying to decide what game to play than I actually do playing bloody games.
That is what I like about the challenges. That's why I like the Main Meister High Score Kerfuffle. And even though the last few games on Tuba's High Score Challenge have been shoot 'em ups, bullet hell type shoot 'em ups, which are not my favorite, it gives me something to play. It says this is this is what you play. It's why I like requests on streams as well, on my Commodore and Amiga streams, and my VIC streams when I do them. I love requests because I get to play games, especially games that I've never heard of and never played before. And that makes when somebody's thinking, why didn't you try this? The fact that the choice is there, the fact that when somebody makes a choice, it's normally there to play. That is top notch for me. That is top notch. That makes up for all the dilution problems. Just getting there, doing the requests, doing the challenges, gives me a target to go, and it gives me a game to play for a little while. And it's good. It really is good.
I mean, before we go on, sorry, Panther, are you back, mate?
Yeah, I'm back again, mate. I've been having a bit of technical difficulties there with my phone.
Oh, it sounded like you were getting fucking mauled. Either that or you were sitting in the bloody toilet.
No, I don't know, mate. The trouble with this, if you close the like the web browser, just fucking stops the sound, and I keep forgetting. I've got you going, and I'm listening to you lot. But
You're a lot clearer now as well. You're a lot clearer now as well. You're not so muffled. You're a lot clearer.
Yeah, you sound a lot better. Panther, I know you've got a kind of an arcade cabinet. Do you like restrict the number of games that you play? Have you got like a small selection, or do you have favourites, or what? Or do you just sort of go, fuck it, I'll just go and pick something? Do you kind of have a limited amount that you can pick from, or what?
Well, the limited amount is full ROM sets.
Yeah, and how do you decide what you're going to play? I mean, is it just the favourites?
Yeah, I mean, I've got say from MAME, for example. I've got well, it's called favourites, but there's a lot of games. I remember when I first set it up, I just went through, and I'm just using the what was the MAME 32 style front end. That's got screenshots. I just went through and got all the ones that I knew. And I went through looking at the screenshots and went through. It took me ages to set it up. I went through all the different games. And yeah, I think I've got about 1,500 in the favourites folder. And then of course, I've got a full ROM set for SNES, Mega Drive. It goes on. Like.
Yeah, do you not find that that's overwhelming, and because of that you, just what Steve was saying, you struggle to actually pick a game, or do you when you switch it on, do you already know what game you're going to play?
Yeah, I normally switch it on with a game in mind, to be honest.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I know one of my mates, he's built himself a MAME cabin. I think he's only got some like 50 games in it. He says, I'm never going to play any of the other 9,995, whatever it is. Yeah, I think just having too much. I mean, again, going back to if you could go back to 1985 and somebody says to you, in 20 years' time or 30 years' time or whenever it is, I'm going to gift you a brand new arcade game every single day. You would just fucking, yeah, it would be incredible, and that's what we've now got. You could play a different MAME game every day for probably, I don't know, a good couple of years. Just probably take it for granted, don't we?
Yeah, you definitely spoil. I mean, it's like I know a lot of us, the height of the arcade for us was sort of like mid to late 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
You have a look at games like Rolling Thunder and Outrun, and games I used to play. Like I used to play Rygar, the arcade version was in the local shop I used to go into, and the graphics on that at the time were amazing, and I still think they look amazing, but that's obviously because I'm thinking way back in the past. But yeah, and to have that basically at your fingertips, every single arcade game that's emulated. I mean, there's not a lot in MAME that doesn't work that I'd want to play anyway. I mean, a lot of the stuff that don't work is like pachinko games and pinball stuff and that I'm not going to play, so I'm not really missing out on anything.
Yeah.
It's just it's limitless. It's almost limitless. There's so fucking many, man.
It's interesting because I talk to people at work about MAME. They'll go, oh, fucking, I remember this game where you're playing this little dinosaur thing, you're blowing bubbles. I went, Bubble Ball, that's the game. Aye. I says, have you got a PC in the house? Yeah. I says, I could put this bit of software where you'll get Bubble Bobble plus 10,000 any arcade game you can think of. Name out an arcade game. Outrun. I goes, that's there. Defender. Yep, that's there. What to do is give me a hard disk and I will put it on for you. And they're like, nah, I'm not even playing it, mate. So certain people are just not interested. But I think people that are really into MAME are people that probably do remember the, fucking seen bloody Space Invaders for the first time and just been blown away that there's this thing on the screen, but you're actually interacting. You can move, you can affect what's on the screen, and it's hard to explain to people that were born, 10 years later. They just take for granted. We're still, I still, as I said, when I put on bloody whatever it might be, even Space Invaders, somebody will put an arcade game on my MAME cabinet and just look at it and think, fucking Space Invaders, it's in my kitchen. Fucking mental.
I'm just the same. Yeah, I get a thrill every time I turn it on. Absolute thrill.
It just blows your mind that you've got this ability. Right, listen, Panther, I'm going to let you pick a tune. I think it's time for another Sid tune. I should get music. You pick one. What would you like, mate? Nothing too long. None of your Thomas the Terts or anything. But
oh, blimey, that's putting me on the spot, isn't it? Oh, one a bit. Well, why not? Go for the Last Ninja if you want.
Last Ninja. No arguments in that, Scott. Right, what we're going to? It's going to have a Ben Douglas, presumably, or what? Are you going for a Matt Gray, or what? What are you thinking?
No, the original Last Ninja, Ben Daglish and Anthony Lees. Might as well stick the Wasteland loader on. I'm got to remember which fucking sub tune it is. You just have to flick forward until I say, yeah, that's the one.
All right, Last Ninja, Ben. Let's try that. What was Ben Douglas and who was the other guy?
And Anthony Lees.
Tell you what, I'll just how do you spell Douglas? Is it
DAG?
Daglish. All right, there we go. Ben Daglish. There we go. Right, oh fucking hell! Right, and it was the Last Ninja. Ninja. There we are. Can you guys see that all right? Ah, no, that's Lease, Anthony Lease. There must be an easier way of looking for this. Why can I not find it?
Well, I normally would just type in the Last Ninja.
Is it right? Let's see.
Only trouble is, my
Cauldron.
picture is it's got a bit behind what we're saying.
What's that, mate?
A word to Cauldron. Vic 20, I used to program music, well, not music, but just sound effects on the Vic 20 when it was on our local BTs before I actually had one. It was one of the things I was looking up. Getting sound working was one of my favorite parts of the early computing.
So, sorry, is that it there, Panther?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one there.
Right. Go forward a track.
Oh no, that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Oh, is it this one here? Does that move
A
it
little
up?
up and down arrow.
Right. Right, there's number 1.
Go on, keep going. I think it's number 5 or number 6.
Number 6, maybe. Number 6, mate, or is that one?
Keep going. That's the one.
That's the one. Right, let's sit back and enjoy this. fuck me, that is special. That I was always a fan of it, but just listening to that in its entirety, that is such an absolute masterpiece. I think that's got to be probably in the top. If there was a top 10 Sid tunes, that is going to be up there. It's just a fucking phenomenal, and it just makes me really sad when you look at the top there. 1966 to 2018 lung cancer. Looking sadly missed.
Yeah. Yeah, if you remember the first Sid show we done, that was my my number one tune.
Yeah, you couldn't improve that. You absolutely couldn't improve it. So who was Anthony Lees then? Is he a musician as well? I take it.
He was. He's another one that's no longer with us.
Oh, seriously, fucking hell.
But he done sort of like I don't know, about 40% of the tracks on the game, and Ben done the rest.
It's something
Ben,
else. It's,
yeah. One of the originals and one of the best.
Definitely.
yeah, it's an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, listen, I'm gonna indulge myself a wee bit, and I'm gonna put in a bit of Commando with Rob Hubbard, if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah, you go for it, mate. I'm gonna have to depart soon because I've got some dogs to take around the garden.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Let's have a look. Rob Hubbard Commando, and we're also going to play Wanting the Run because it's my fucking channel, and I'll play what I want. Right, Commando. Let's see. Where is it? Rob Hubbard Commando.
I actually put Monty on the Run's music onto a cassette back in the day when I had a cable that connected it over to a cassette player. I actually recorded it directly rather than just through the mic.
Yeah, I did that as well, mate. I had a tape full of 64 stuff.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Rob Hubbard.
Say, what's this? What's this? And I said, this is computer music.
Right, here we go. There we go. What a tune! I don't think I've actually ever really. Well, I probably have. You always just think of the start of Commando. That's the bit you remember, but it is actually a fully fleshed out tune.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. And he wrote that in what, one night or something? Was it something ridiculous?
Well, he listened to the music in a chip shop and then basically recreated it.
So did he just do it from like he heard it and then he went home, ate his chips and his fish, whatever he had, and then he just wrote that? Fucking hell.
So the legend goes, something like that. Anyway,
Aye. I should know because I've got that book. I'll need to actually read what he was talking with that. But yeah, absolutely
it
phenomenal.
was either that or they had the machine for one night, and you know, I'm not sure. I can't remember, to be honest with you, mate. It's been a long day.
Aye. Listen, time is wearing on, so I think I'm just going to thank you guys for taking part. It was a bit of a cobbled together thing. I wasn't even going to do a bloody waffle, and then I think I did one for about 20 minutes, and then we fucked about and tried to get you guys on. I've had an absolute ball. It's been great. We'll need to do more of these.
Been really good.
And,
Yeah.
Steve, have you enjoyed yourself? It's been wonderful having you on, mate.
I've
it's good.
loved every second. I mean, I'm almost crapping myself here. So nervous. Never done this before, but I've loved it. Thank you.
You're a fucking legend, mate, and you're a natural as well. So yeah, you're always welcome. And I think I think we should do this again. It's great. It's like sitting in a fucking pub with your mates and just listening to shit, talking about stuff that you can't talk to anyone else about. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So there's only one tune that we can finish off with, and I've already mentioned it, and it's by the main man again, and it's Monty on the Run. So before I play it, well, do you want to say anything before you go, or good night, or whatever?
Well, cheers for having us on, mate. Like you say, it was a bit cobbled together, but I need to get back into YouTube at some point.
Yeah.
It's just having the time and
It's the door. The virtual door is always open, and if anything with this, it's made me realise I want to do another fucking Sid show again. I love listening. I love listening to Sid music.
Oh, Sids are awesome. I do my.
Really?
If you want to some background listening, when I'm not working, I do a Sid show from 2 till 6 on a Sunday. No need to get into chat or anything. Just pop it on in the background. It's normally random Sids. This Sunday I'm doing Proton Fig playlist of all his tunes, but normally it's random tunes. And I do take requests if anybody wants for Sid tunes or demos that they want to listen to. But yeah, I do it because I haven't got much time, but I can set that running and let it go on its own. And that's with the genuine C64 with Sid FX.
nice.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Right, where is Monty on the Run? It's going to be there somewhere. Rob Hubbard, Monty on the Run. I'll be that one there. So listen, folk. Yeah, okay. Just thanks very much to Steve, to Panther, and to Ponder, and most importantly to everybody that's been listening. Calden Stardust, Milty Swinbuckle, Colin Thompson. Yeah, there's lots of others. Dale. I hope Dale, your mum's feeling.
So I'm going to have to depart and get him in the garden.
All right, listen, guys.
I'm talking to you live, Steve. Absolutely brilliant to be talking to you live.
Yeah, nice to speak to you, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to kick you guys off, and we'll just enjoy this. So take care, guys. Have a nice weekend.
See you later.
Thanks so much for listening. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.